buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back?
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, here's our car. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
It's Brad Atwell on Ask the Coach, WCOU Sports, Coach Jeff Griffith of Barron County Trojans. We want to remind you that after the show, if you'd like to check out our McDonald's podcast with game film, you can go to watchwcou.com or go on WCOU and click on the video link, and you can check out the game film and the show again. And we want to thank McDonald's of Glasgow for sponsoring that. Coach, our offense last night, of course, talked a little bit about offensively what we did. Zach Sneed last night, 27 carries for 240 yards. Just a beast last night is all you can say. 2 touchdowns. Ellis, nine carries, 30 yards. But I'm telling you, a stat that's not on the sheet here is where 5 was leading in the hole, and then 6 would just come right in behind him, and I mean there were just huge gaping holes in the defense for him to run last night from what our offensive lineman was doing and what the lead block was doing for him last night.
That's a good point to make because, you know, we've talked about the job that our offensive line has done at times this year, and they certainly did another good job last night. But one thing that we probably have not talked enough about is Ellis lead blocking up in there because he's a 225 or 30 pound guy. Of course, he told me last night when we tried to help him up from cramping, I'm like, dang, how much do you weigh? And of course, he said 210. I'm like, yeah, right. But Ellis has done a great job of blocking, and when he's carried the football all year, he runs with authority. But I tell you what, you know, there were just some, as you said, some gaping holes last night, and you know, Zach was getting 8 and 10 yards before he was getting touched, and you know, when that happens, there's some pretty good blocking going on up front, and of course, lead blocking by Ellis, you know, on our isolation plays and our power off tackle plays, and you know, he did a really good job with that, and you know, and our tight ends as well. You know, those been playing 2 and 3 tight ends in there a lot this year, and you know, they've just done a really good job. So, you know, like I said, certainly Zach Sneed deserves a lot of credit because he's a 195-pound back that's athletic. I said, but, you know, all backs look the same as Coach Haley, that my mentor, used to say, without blocking. And we've had some blocking the last few weeks, and Zach has certainly taken advantage of it.
Absolutely. It all starts, right? You know, we've talked about it from back early. It all starts tackle to tackle. And what goes on inside, because most of what we run starts out in there. You know, we do pitch the ball a little bit and get outside, but most of that is usually tackle to tackle. And those guys, you know, they're not on the stat sheet. You know, they do get graded, and they know what they've done, whether they've missed their assignment or not. But the only stat that you look at is a rushing stat. And when you look at a running back that's got 240 yards on 27 carries, somebody up there in the trenches from tackle to tackle was doing their job. That fullback was in there in front of him. He was pounding it out, doing his job. Those tight ends are doing their job. I noticed last night on 2 or 3 plays, you know, those stretch plays to the sideline and stuff, I thought our wide receivers were doing a fabulous job blocking. It seemed like it was a team effort last night. Again, we saw 11 guys being engaged in the football game on both sides of the football.
Yeah, and that's a good point about our wide receivers too, because Nick, Mabe, and Ty Hay have done a really good job all year of blocking the stock blocking the corners and secondary guys, and that's allowed us to get even some more yards once we get into the open field. And you know, those guys have done a good job. Again, as you said, team effort up front. When you have a running back that goes for 230 or 40 yards, I mean, there's no question that there's a lot of guys that are being selfless of themselves and doing it for the team and blocking and making sure that we're having positive outcome with our plays.
Yeah, again, Sneed 27 carries, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those on a 16-yard run, other one on a 19-yard run. the 19-yard run was probably those last 3 or 4 yards. He made a couple moves that just put him into the end zone, and you know, if you see that on film, you're going to think, you know, that was just a great move. Winiger, again, 9 carries for 30 yards. Andrew, 12 carries for 35 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of those an 8-yard carry. The other one was down on about the half-yard line, and we'd run the. Of course, it's not. There's no way it could be a quarterback sneak because Andrew, big old boy, he's not going to sneak anywhere. You know he's coming in there, and just the thing is, can you stop him? He's a big, strong kid. And it's hard to keep him from getting a yard if he wants to get it. And then, of course, Nick Mabe, 2 carries for 10 yards. Then in the passing game, we threw the ball 3 times last night. We were 2 for 3 for 34 yards. One of those was an 8-yard catch by Mabe. The other one, again, let's go back to Ellis. Ellis has played on he's run the football. He's played fullback and he's blocked the run. He's played tight end on offense. I think that's everywhere he's played on offense so far. He's played on the defensive side of the ball. He's played as a down lineman. He's playing the anchor spot. He's played middle linebacker. And then last night he comes out of the backfield and catches that ball down the sideline, and I thought there's no way in the world that he's going to catch this football. And that was a big first down for us because we were backed up and we needed that. And then, 26-yard pass down the sideline. So not only can he run, not only can he block, not only can he tackle, he's got some hands.
Well, it was one of those plays where, Andrew pretty much just threw it up. It was single coverage, and I thought the Evanston County DB had good coverage on him, and Ellis looks up and finds the football and makes a great adjustment to it, and kind of falling backwards just makes a great catch, almost laying on his back to catch the football. And again, we've said it all year. We could put Ellis Winiger anywhere on the football field, and he'd be a good player. And he was really good last night at outside linebacker and did a good job. And he's done a good job anywhere we put him. And you talk about one of the most selfless guys I've probably ever coached. I mean, wherever you tell him to play, he doesn't bat an eye. He just goes and says, tell me what I need to do and how to do it, and he gets it done. And he's done that all year. And, if you had everybody just needs a whole team full of those guys. And that makes it fun to coach.
Yeah. And he doesn't care, like you said, he doesn't care where it's at. He just knows that, hey, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to give you 110. And that's what he does every down. He's playing as hard as he can. Just great kid. Him and Zach Sneed are probably two of the, taking nothing away from other guys on the team, but Ellis and Zach Sneed are probably two of the nicest kids that I've ever been around. And when you see them on the field and see how selfless they are, it lets you know that spills over in life for them as well. Just two great kids. All right, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back after these words from our sponsors on Ask the Coach with Coach Jeff Griffith.